Hello everyone, I'm Brad with ACI Distributors. ACI is the distributor for RTP Genesis drills and Goliath crimpers in the Midwest, Gulf Coast states, and the East Coast from Florida up to Virginia. We're here today to talk about the calibration of the Genesis drill. We have with us the Genesis 5 today. The first step in a good calibration is to calibrate for your seed size. Seed size is a critical step in this process. The biggest thing is you don't want to break seed beans. Inside the Genesis we have a metering wheel which is fluted, that collects the seed. That metering wheel has a shelf below it or a lever, which as it rotates it drops the seed on that flat, rakes it across, drops off the end, straight down through the seeding tubes and into the ground. We have to adjust that dimension between the metering wheel and the shelf. If it's too tight, either the seed won't go through or we're going to break the seed, so we need to open it up. In this case we have Eagle seed beans, Roundup ready, we're going to go plant in the field, but we need to get that seed dimension correct. If we had clover or really small seed, we would close that up very tight, as clover will run like water. It would just run out through the metering device and empty the seed box in no time. So you would, in that case, close the metering shelf all the way up. This lever on the operator's right-hand side is your seed gauge. You have a gauge on here, goes from 0 to 3 plus, all the way and beyond. Right now we're set on about 1, so we're going to run the ground drive wheel, we're going to run some seed through it. We'll check the seed tray and see if we have any cracked beans. If we do, we're going to run this and open it up a little more. It might take us 2-3 tries until we eliminate any seed cracking or breaking. So we're starting at 1. And we'll go take care of that. The first step before we do that though is the Genesis is equipped with a seed tray, a seed collection system, which is unique to a Genesis drill. Without this seed tray, the seed would just drop through the machine to the floor. What we'd have to do is lay a tarp on the ground, collect all that seed, dump it in a bucket, weigh it. It would be rather cumbersome and difficult to do. Whereas on the Genesis, all we're going to do is take this tray out. Tray is held on by a couple of plastic threaded knobs here. We'll take these off. We're going to pull the tray out. The tray has a very tight fitting. Takes a little effort to pull it out. There we go. And what you'll notice on the seed tray is there's some pass-through funnels here. As the seed comes out of the metering cups and metering system here, the seed drops through the tray, through these holes, down the tubes, into your disc cutters, and drops right into the ground. So for seed collection, we take the tray out, we flip it over, put it back in. Now you'll notice these pass-through tubes are now misaligned. They are no longer in line with these seed metering systems, so the seed will now just drop right into our tray, be captive. Line back up on your studs. Shove it in. Alright, so we'll put our seed tray back in. Nice tight fit. Now we're ready to run some seed through the system and check for crackage. Okay, now we're on the other side of the drill, the operator's left side. This is our ground drive wheel. This wheel drives a chain mechanism which drives the gearbox, which drives the shaft with the metering cups. The faster we turn that shaft, the more seed we put out. The slower we turn that shaft, the less seed we put out. That's what this gearbox is setting, and we'll use that when we do our calibration. But right now, we're just checking our seed gate size and making sure we're not cracking beans. When you're rotating your ground drive, always rotate the direction of travel with the tractor. In this case, it's counterclockwise. Listening for some seeds to come out, hit the tray. Now we're hearing a few hit the tray. All right, so let's go see if we have any crackage. So yeah, we do. Here's a cracked bean. Here's a cracked bean. Here's a cracked bean. So we do have some crackage. So we need to increase the size of that gate. So we had a little crackage. So we're going to go from 1 I know from experience we're going to go just a little over 2. We're going to empty out that tray, back into the seed box. Replace it and line the studs up with the sleeves of the tray. Turn the wheel another 10 or 12 times, recheck our seed. You can hear the seed hitting the tray, so we have some good seed flow going. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we've set our seed size, we have no more crackage, no more chipping. We're good to go. Problem with a cracked soybean or broken soybean is that soybean is dead, it will not grow. True with any seed, sunflowers. So first step, always set your machine for seed size. It's important to note that if you're doing a blend of seeds, moments ago we just planted a few fields that had a combination of a forage soybean, a sunflower, foxtail millet, and some sorghum, grain sorghum. When you're doing a mix of seeds, you want to calibrate your seed size to the largest seed in your mix. Place those back in. Now we're ready to begin our calibration. So we put our seed tray back in to collect seed. Nice tight fit. So next step in the calibration process. Our seed size gate is set for the proper seed size, no crackage, no chipping of our seeds. Now it's time to calibrate. The 2018 machines have a variable speed gearbox. The previous models from 2016 had gear sets where you had to change gears to get different revolutions. On the newer machines we have a variable rate transmission which is tied into the ground drive wheel. There's a drive chain mechanism. And on this tape here, you'll see it goes from 0 to 10. It's a relative measurement. Right now we're at about 3.5, just a good starting position for soybeans. On all machines, you turn the wheel 26 times. So what you need to do is maybe take a Sharpie, put a black mark on your stud. In this case, we've got some pink duct tape. Put a chalk mark on your tire, something to read off of. We're going to turn the tire 26 times. We're going to take the seed out, and we're going to go through a weighing process. On a 5-footer, you take the weight of your seed times 85, and that will give you your pounds per acre. On a 3-foot Genesis, your multiplier is 36. On an 8-foot Genesis, your multiplier is a 52, and a 10-foot Genesis, your multiplier is 41. Genesis 5, so our multiplier is 85. So let's turn this tire 26 times. 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, and 26. Now we need to pull the seed tray, take the seed out, and weigh it. Okay, as you can see, we've got a pretty good tray full of seed. Just take a dry paintbrush. Come through, clean out those nooks and crannies. You want to capture every seed. We're not talking a lot of weight here. Okay, seed tray's empty. Scale we're using today is just a simple fish scale, weighs in tenths of a pound. You can pick it up at any sporting goods store, $15, $20. Fairly reasonable, easy way to get into a scale. Turn our scale on. First thing we're going to do is weigh our weighing bucket. We need to get a weight on that. That weighs 0.41. We'll record that. Now we're going to take our seed, put it in our weighing bucket. So our bucket width seed is 1.05. So we're going to take 1.05 minus 0.41 equals
0.64.
0.64, so that's our seed weight times 0.85.
54.4.
54.4 pounds to the acre. We're going to go for around 75 pounds to the acre on this. So right now our setting on our variable speed transmission is 3.5. We're going to bump that up to 4.5. We'll go through this process again. That should put us pretty close. What's really nice about the Genesis machine is it reacts to changes. You don't have to do big swings one way or another to get a change in your pounds per acre. So we're just going to go 1 centimeter on the strip, run the process again, see what we come up with. It's important to note it may take you 2 or 3 times to go through this process to get the pounds per acre you want. But in the end, a little bit of time invested is worth it to get the right amount of seed in the ground and get the results that you're looking for. So our gearbox setting from 3.5 to about 4 5/8, 9.05. So we're almost 80 pounds to the acre. We're going to back that off a little bit. We may run this calibration one more time just to make sure we're close on that 75. But we went just a little over a full centimeter, and we gained from 52 pounds to almost 80 pounds per acre with a minor adjustment. So big adjustments not necessary. Okay, we've made an adjustment from the gearbox. We've gone from about 4 5/8 to about 4 3/8. We know our bucket weight is 0.41. Bucket width seed is 1.32. So we take 1.32 minus 0.41 times 85 on a 5-foot drill.
77.35.
77.35. So we brought it down a little bit. Our goal is 75. You know what? We're close enough. We're going to the field.